Hello YouTube, welcome back to Cage of Shadows and episode 5 of Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong. Right, last episode we are now a Shadowrunner in name and look at least. We haven't yet done a Shadowrun, but we have, the opening act has come to the end. We've signed on with Kindly Chen. We're now looking like a boss, like a proper Shadowrunner, got some new gear, and we're about to go to the mission terminal and get a run and to earn some cash. So let's go. Mission computer. Your workstation and mission computer. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. Blinking message in the upper right corner notifies you have 6 unread messages. Oh my god. Check your inbox. Right, sorry guys. Welcome to Hio. From Kindly Chen. On behalf of the friends of the Hio Chamber of Commerce and the Swift Winds Parliament, I welcome you to the community and to our new... Why the fuck did she send me that email? That's bullshit. I've already lined up 3 jobs for you. The details of each are contained in a separate computer message. Remember to check the messages often and I will update you on the opportunities as they occur. Your mission computer. Hey Cage, I've set up your mission computer to automatically collect and collate news reports and information media that might be of interest to you. Some of the keywords I've got in trolling a few are things like Raymond, Duncan, Water City, etc. This is from Isabel. I've also patched in a permanent link up to the Hong Kong shard of the Shadowlands BBS. It's a great place to connect with other runners, sell pay data, news from the street, and so on. Don't be shy about taking a look. Resources. I have been instructed to inform you of the various suppliers present. Auntie Chen has cultivated a commercial district of well-stocked and trustworthy vendors. Whoever you choose to do business with, you'll be in good hands. Blah blah blah. Magical goods. Desire training, the adept. Oh, that spider monk was a she. I didn't realise. Chrome Alley. Yep. Cyber surgeon. Laws. Yep. Decker. Drones. Yep. Best of luck in the shadows. As fresh meat, you are likely to need it. Nice. Serial killer. From Kindly Chen. I've got a problem, Cage, and you're going to help me solve it. I do a lot of business with the wampons. If you're not familiar with the term, I'll forgive you. You're an outsider after all. The wampons are a tribe of techno-fetchers and deckers who've taken up residence in the Wampon Garden area of Hong Kong. They make and trade high-tech goods. A lot of new passes through their pasty little fingers, and I make a lot of money brokering deals between them and the smugglers. I hit a snack though. The Wampum elders, their council leaders, are being eliminated by a serial killer. They've asked me to dispatch someone to get to the bottom of it and stop the killings. They're not taking their goods through my turf until I do. So you're going to be my proxy, dear. I don't care how you do it, but I need those murders stopped. The Wampums have here delegate here and Hio by the name of Maximum Law. Speak with him if you wish to know about Wampa. He's got a big mouth, but he knows very little of importance. Don't expect much from that half-empty bottle of vinegar. You get your ass down to Wampa Gardens and talk to the elders. Lie, cheat, and steal if you have to, as long as they're convinced that you won't be any more murders. I want my cut back, and I want it soon. Wow. I do want to take that run because it might be better decking gear. But let's read the other messages. Welcome to Shadow's Cage. I received a request from the archaeologist named Mr. Drake. He's interested in liberating certain artifacts from beneath a manor house located in Taipao. I've attached a copy of the video message that he sent me. The screen flickers a few times. The email replaced with the face of Stern Orc. Hello, Madame Cheng. I've heard that you're a woman who knows how to get things done, especially with regards to things that aren't legal in the stricter sense. Exactly the kind of help I'm looking for. Recently, a rich investor by the name of Lu Hai decided to expand his manor house on the outskirts of Taipo. Too much money, not enough space for fancy parties. He hit a snag with local government officials. However, they suspected the land his estate was built on may have pre-modern archaeological artifacts buried beneath it, all of them dated from the Song dynasty. Consequently, I've been contracted as an archaeologist to oversee the excavations and ensure everything was properly recorded in the catalogue. Sure enough, we were only there a few days in the excavation when we discovered a series of tombs lying beneath the site. The scope of the tombs was far beyond anything Lu or I had expected. Several acres of catacombs at least, and untouched relics throughout. What's more, they're certainly older than the Song dynasty. They may even be from the previous cycle of magic. Before I can make my report to the Free Enterprise Zone authorities, however, Lu called in his allies in Titan Incorporated. Lu sold the entire site to Titan, who then leased it back to him. Because Titan is considered to have extraterritoriality in Hong Kong, local authorities were powerless to stop Lu from looting the tombs. He immediately began building a museum, if you call it that, atop the site. He had the gall to call his museum the Emperor's Tomb. Can you believe that? The odds of there being an actual emperor buried there are basically nil, but doesn't care. He wants to sell a few tickets. Lewis continues his excavation using tiny 10 contractors to expand the dig. What he didn't know that is I bugged his comlink before he fired me. Based on what I've heard, something strange going on the low levels. Workers have been disappearing, only to be found dead days later. Whatever's down there is too dangerous to be left in loose hands. Lou must have found my data line tapped though. I stopped receiving any information 3 days ago. The last thing I heard of him talking about were a pair of ancient texts the workers had discovered. Then he issued an order the further excavation should be halted until he secures subterranean areas. I'm betting those texts are the cause of whatever's killing. I have a bit of experience with kind of dangerous excavations, but an operation of this scale is beyond me. I need a team that's tough enough to get in and survive, aren't afraid of making a mess, and who can get out with the books and whatever else they can carry. Beyond the 2 texts, I'm willing to pay very well for whatever other artifacts the team can liberate. The more valuable the better. Don't worry, they'll be going to actual museums, not Rich Boy's mansion. I've got a second program in place that'll suppress Lou's security system. The team will have to be careful though. There's only so many alarms I can suppress. Go beyond that number and I'll scrub the mission. I'm including a catalogue of likely items to help the team appraise the most valuable ones. They don't need to be subtle. In fact, I prefer if they make it look like a common robbery. Tell them to smash and grab what they can. Let me know when you find a super group of Shadowrunners. Ugh, that's a horrible run. There you have it, a nice simple robbery. Do you think you can handle something that basic, dear? I have faith in you. Let me know if you're ready to proceed. Go back, and the final run, I presume. Geomancy is a big menace in free enterprise zone. Here in Hong Kong, feng shui isn't just rearranging your kitchen. The fortunes of empires rise and fall with the ebb and flow of qi, and sometimes that needs a helping hand. Oh my god, more feng shui. Really? You are kidding me. Wuxing Incorporated are the preeminent practitioners of large-scale queen manipulation here in the free zone. They've gone to great lengths to channel chi from all over Hong Kong into the headquarters, an enormous monstrosity that they call the Wuxing Sky Tower. There, it is focused and transformed into good fortune through the building's geometrically attuned architecture and interior design. Our client believes it's time for Wuxing's good luck to run out. You are to infiltrate the Sky Tower and disrupt the flow of chi throughout the building. But you are to do so in 2 distinct fashions. First, you must disrupt the feng shui of the offices by subtly altering the environment at that level. This will consist of minor adjustments of desks, built. Oh my god, that's pathetic. And other small activities. Ordinarily, even subtle disturbances of this nature would be noticed. This is why the client wishes you to make a much louder demonstration on the rooftop garden. The garden is to be ransacked, utterly destroyed. Set 5 things, rooftop. Our client has also specified that he would like you to destroy the large Buddhist statue in the garden, smash the thing to bits, and have them scattered across the rooftop. Level of destruction will keep Wuxing geomancers busy long enough that more subtle disruptions below will take effect. In addition, it will send the kind of message our client would like Wuxing to hear. I have utmost faith in your ability to cause disruption. The more disruption you can cause on both levels of Sky Tower, the happier the client will be. As you're not self-class yourself, it may be wise to bring Goblet along. To be able to see the most effective ways to disrupt it, go back. Okay, right, more text has been read. Open jobs directory. Right, view all pending jobs. Right, I'm going to go after the serial killer so I can get better decking gear because I'm a decker. Yep, okay, we've read that. I'm not going to reread it. Take the run. Good. I'll tell the elders you're coming. They don't like outsiders and they might shoot you if I don't warn them that you'll be arriving. Pending jobs. Good. Back to route. Walk away. Okay, everybody. We have a job. Let's rock and roll, bitches. Do 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 do. Right, and we're going to the old classic of using the metros. It's a weird way it's designed. Right, head to Wumpa. In addition to your team, you'll fix as access to a small network of mercenaries in the area. The runners appear below a core team. As you complete missions, both your team members and the available mercenaries appear at game. Blah blah blah. Okay, right. Oh, Duncan's definitely coming along. Goblet's definitely coming along. She does have a grenade launcher. And her deck's probably about the same as mine. And I certainly don't want to pay. There's a rigger and a mage. Oh no, there's a few others as well. I'm going to take Isabel along because I'm not paying for runners. Hopefully we'll get the other members of the team, include the bloody samurai. I haven't looked where he is, so I don't know if I have to do particular jobs to get hold of him. Oh shit! Who have I just deselected? Any more cyberware for you? And I can't imagine you're going to have any. Does Goblet have a... She has a data jack? Okay. Right. Spellcasting 2. Conjuring 3. Yep. Okay, all 3. Let's rock on. Right, time to do a run, guys. This is what we're here for. Please load. Wampa Garden, a carnival, chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Wampa elders, the leaders of the band of tech-savvy squatters that have claimed this neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Wampians you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, fugitive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. Right, so let's do this investigation. Oh look, they're all locked down. Firm. Right. Oh, game has autosaved, thank you. Please load. The streets of Wampagana are slick with rain, oh fuck's sakes. Glittering under the neon glow of the mirrored signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks a sickly orange of sodium streetlights. The smell of grilling meat mingles with other, rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of street vendors and touts urging people into their stores. Isabel wrinkles her nose, scrolling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feeling I had when I lived here. Not I know of. So also I said, this place seemed like heaven after the walled city. Like the whole world had unfurled in front of me, and everywhere I turned there was a promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as crappy as everywhere else. Everyone's seen it for themselves. Goblet claps a hand on Isabel's shoulders, who flinches and pulls away. That's a great life lesson, I'm serious. At the end of the day, life's a raw deal. You've got yourself and a handful of friends, and that's it. Nothing else. Duncan casts a sidelong glance at Isabel and Goblet, shaking his head. You've got some strange ideas about life. Sure, life's a meat grinder, but come on, there's got to be more to life than just surviving. Does there? What makes you the authority on that? Isabel waves at his hand. I'm done talking about this anyway. Isabel turns towards you and points down the street to your left. We're looking for the Wampa elders. They're going to be in the Wampa itself, the big ship down the street. That's them all shaped like a boat, right? Isabel nods. That's the one. Somebody thought it would be clever to make a uniquely shaped mall. Okay. So where the hell are we? The elders don't want anyone to go inside without their permission. It must be pretty bad. I've heard it's not just dead, it's been cut up. I kind of just want to run around and have a look, see this. Wow, that looks pretty awesome. You better find someplace indoors to sleep, and the streets are dangerous lately. That looks a pretty awesome character model. I like the look of that guy. Whoever he is, he's a troll. He's a troll with the slick mage robes on, I think. That looks pretty sweet. I like it how they've kept that in shadow. It looks uneven, but it looks good. Is that meant to be the mall, I guess? Nice. Right, in we go. Escalators. That's a nice new asset for the map editor. I like that. Oh, that doesn't bode well. Big old heavy... Okay, that is an elder. The Orc Woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny TRID screens and speakers. The TRID screens display snippets of TRID broadcasts from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoint with a chorus of voices speaking Svefriel, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Her expression is haggard, and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome, welcome to the Wampa, my friend. I am Elder Nig, and these are Elders Tang and Lip. Don't get. No gestures to the elf. Nig gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We have nowhere else to turn. It's not the least I could do. Sure, whatever is disrespectful, and as long as you can pay, I can help. Tug under Tag's skin, glowing tattoos writhe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move on the door. We're under threat. One by one, we elders are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Lig crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over the surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, survey pressure, and a variety of other minutiae. He looks past you towards Isabel. The prodigal daughter returned once more. Don't expect to see you back aboard the Wampa in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yenna was very put out. I'm glad you're still alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understand why you had to leave. Lip pauses, tasting the air as he chooses the next words carefully. Hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect me back either. Work takes you places, though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later, she places a hand on her pistol, eyes trained on Lip's shoes. I don't cart this around for fun, LP. The lessons kept me alive. Isabel blinks several times and looks up at NG, her expression clouded. Where is Yenta anyway? I expect her to be here. NG shakes her head sadly. She reaches out a hand towards Isabel, shrinks away from it. She's dead. So are Gan and Nakama. And Tong was killed just tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. Isabel's expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow white as her hand balls up in a fist. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. NG lifts the hand, wiping away tears from her eyes. Right, what can you tell me about the murders? They started 2 weeks ago. The first guy was Gan. We found him in his apartment eviscerated. NG swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He'd been torn apart, his head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There's so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Tang nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same. Always at night, always dismemberment. Each scene is like a nightmare, and every time nobody has seen anything. It's like a ghost. Have you made any enemies lately? Shrugs. Not I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell tech. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and deckers. And even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Well, whoever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too, Nick. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. What do the elders do? Isabel snorts. They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of petty tyrants, that's what. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. Tang turns to address you. We keep the Wampa and the residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision, like a town council. I can respect that. I'm glad you understand. The community is fragile and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. A single misstep would spell our end. I am the invoker of sprites. I commune with the sprites and machines, ask them for blessings and pass those blessings to people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be given our confines. She's a shaman, that's all. She's just got some kooky spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Isabel pats her deck, looking at Nick. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck, it's mine. I built it. The only spirit it's got are the ESPs I load with it. Nick gives Isabel a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean it does not exist. Just because you do not believe it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I wonder if she's actually meant to be an otaku. A technomancer. Because they've never done this, and I can't... Technomancers, I think they were just coming in the 50s? Or was it the 60s? I can't remember my Shadowrun lore. What enough. I can't touch programs, either. But at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that. Bullshit. Isabel glances at you, jerking her thumb towards Tang. The guy who treats drones like they're living things. Well, exactly. Is that right? Trailing sensitive arms, palms up. As you watch, the tattoos therein shift into complex mathematical formulae. I am the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of the automation. The blessed Autofab is my shop in Purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. As for me, I serve as a resplendent voltage spike. Smiles coldly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. I like that one. Resplendent voltage spike. What happened to Tong? Same as the rest of the victims. Eviscerated and dismemberment. We sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He'd locked up in his shop, but LP stopped to ask him some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked and inside. Lifts his hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. Seeing NG's inability to continue, LP takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? That's an idiotic question, but that's my only option. Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before, come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favours for local gangs and triads. Handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the police or anyone else decides we're an easy target. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the message via the matrix. Last time the police made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the trid. I got the picture and backed off. That's all for now. It might be wise to ask the residents of Wampa Garden if they've seen or heard anything after you've gone to Tong's Sensory Carnival. They may have seen or heard some things that we have not. Well, balls, that's a lot of text. Investigate Tong's Sensory Carnival, search for a killer in Wampa Gardens. Yeah, that's nice. Right. Porter Lamb at your service. The elders told me that you'd be coming. They tell you about what happened to Tong? Just the basics. Well, nothing basic about this. I've seen people shot, stabbed, beaten to death. Hell, I've seen a corpse that was so dry and desiccated I could have sworn a vampire got to it. None of that's got anything on this. Brace yourselves and go on in. Thank you. Tong Sensory... Oh, this is going to be a lot of text, isn't it? Tong Sensory Carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The coin scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remains of Elder Tong littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order, at least at first glance. Nothing is broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. As you're about to step into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drone blood is spread the walls and ceiling as well. Right, I reckon this is a spirit doing this shit. Okay, let's look at the body. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognisable, and what is left of his body would be described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remains of the Wampa Elder. Wow, that is brutal. The Wampanian's clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flaying. Yet you can't really flay someone without taking their clothes off, because the whole idea of flaying is to remove their skin from their body, which would also require to remove the clothing. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body to a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fibre optics of his cyberware. Goblet puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristically serious tone. Sweet heaven, Cage. I haven't seen anything like that since Auntie Wong tried to stash some cred sticks in a devil's rat nest. It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. I'll second that. This isn't a murder, it's more like, I don't know, a feeding frenzy. If it weren't for the skin, I'd say Tong stepped into a goddamn mine or something. Yeah. Oh, I don't have Biotech free. I can't have everything. Have Goblet. You're the boss. Man, this is going to be unpleasant. Goblet closes her eyes, taking a deep breath. After a moment, she opens them again and makes a strange guttering noise. There's no fear here, Cage. No anger either. Just kind of satisfied feeling. Tong never saw it coming. Whoever did this was professional about it, which is pretty odd, because nobody's professional about eviscerating a body as far as I know. So you mean the murder wasn't some kind of animal attack? I don't know why the killer was after Tong, but it definitely wasn't any kind of mindless creature, or even someone particularly passionate. It was somebody who planned this and executed it and was glad about it. I don't know, it feels like it was just as business as usual. Leave the body alone. Right, I can't get much because I don't have the biotech skills. Bloody wall. The walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which was hardened into a crusty congealed paste. Thick tracks that run laterally. Looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. Hey Cage, I don't know a whole lot about science or all that, but I know what blood looks like when it hits the wall. This isn't natural. Somebody deliberately smeared blood all over these walls. See how it looks It's got paint trails. That's because somebody used Tong's parts like a brush. So they painted his walls with the blood. Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're a freak. Maybe they're the ones who's sick. Maybe one of those 6 serial killers sees their murders as art. I've got no clue. All I know is that what normal blood looks like on a wall, and this ain't it. Some people have a bad grasp of art. I knew this guy in Tong who used to make music out of stray radio static and panic button calls. Called it Crisis Wave. It was awful. That's quite funny though. Oh, come on. Alright, let's look at his desk. Tong's desk drawers are open and the safe built into one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering and the green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside are several blank cred sticks, but no sign of any money on them. Looks like someone looted his stash. A guy like this wouldn't keep only empty cred sticks in his safe. Search the bathroom. Tong's bathroom is immaculate and the drains are tiny. Whoever killed him didn't exit through here. And the Simpsons editor. This is the SimSynth, a device for mixing and mastering synthesizer chips. Several drive bays are empty and all of the chip jacks are empty. The screen is flashing a repeated error message. Warning, requested files cannot be found. Please return drives to bay and try again. Okay, debug the system. Banging away at the Simpsons keyboard, you manage to suspend the drive error warning for a time. Digging into the guts of the machine's recent files, you manage to kick it into diagnostic mode. While it's not as good as having access to the full system, maybe you can learn something anyway. Okay, memory, okay, drive error, bus beginning core dump, please wait. The long debug spews that scrolls along the Simpsons screen is filled with new numbers indicating recent files, play lengths, keyframes, and asset peak levels. Based on the numbers you're seeing, Tong's Simpsons has been hacked to remove the peak controller levels from the chips he's been burning, the required operation to make BLT chips. The delta wave outputs for these chips push them dangerously into brain-burning territory. The file catalog for the high-peak BLTs indicates all the files and burned chips should be stored on the missing drives or whatever was in the empty chip jack. Somebody cleaned out Tong's BLT stash. Okay. I'm just going to see if Isabel can do anything different, if I'm allowed to interact with it even. No. Okay, so I've got all I can out of there. Okay. Someone cold and calm is doing this. Hey there. Looks like somebody went through conversation, so everyone else been inside. Not since I've been here, but before LP found him. Could have been anybody really. LP has a key to his place, but the lock's total crap. Anybody half decent at cracking magnets could have gone inside. What's missing? BLTs, hard drives and cred sticks are all missing. Sounds like the killer looted the place. All this talk of monsters, yeah sure, there are scary things that go bump in the night, but most of the scary bumps I hear from handguns and gangers. What do you do around here, Porter? It's a catch-all category, I guess. I work for Elder LP. It's a bit like being a deputy. I make sure people don't break the rules, protect people who need protecting. Mostly I just do whatever LP asks me to do. It's a pretty quiet job. Today's not one of those days. Sorry, you want my head off. I also handle a lot of maintenance. I don't actually do the repairs, but I've got most of the keys. It makes it easy to ensure only authorized people get into the sensitive places. If electricity goes down, I let the electricians who fix the wiring. Toilets clogged, I let the drone in. I let in the drone guy who opens it back up. See you later. Right. So you have a access all pass. Zippy. The orc is busily snacking on a steamed bun. As you approach, he wipes off one of his hands and sticks it out towards you. Hey stranger, nice to meet you. Zippy, toe tag, at your service. How are you liking Wampa Gardens? Do I know you? We've never met before, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders had me autopsy to see what was left of Elder Gan and Elder after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. So since I don't know you and I can smell a Shadowrun a mile away, you've got to be the outsider they asked to stop the killings, right? Huh. No one gets like you, does it? See, I have good eyes, and a lot of good eyes actually, if you're in the market for replacements. Only slightly used, and they only come from certified donors, I swear. A hasty belly laugh erupts from the orc, and he slaps, man, I kill myself. I swear. That was awful. Tippy shrugs. I know, I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but all my jokes are terrible. So if you're not a comedian, what are you? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other Wampians healthy, got to practice down the road. Blind Chen's pretty good cyber talk, but he's basically an implant specialist, that's it. How'd you end up here? I did my residency back in the UCAS. Could become a real MD if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reason. Opened his coat, revealing a cyber deck. He pats the product. I also deck a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than ice. Wampa Garden seemed a good fit for me. Now you must have a lot of customers. That's the chip truth. I have to charge to cover my costs and eat, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, but it's good, honest work. I like helping my neighbours and the community. We look out for each other. Somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. Kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have that ethos like that? Not the damn corpse, that's for sure. I've lived a lot of places, done my fair share of Shadowrunning, but this place is special. It's been a long time since I really felt like anywhere was a real home. Zippy looks past you, towards the Wampa Garden streets. His expression grows as wistful, like he's remembering something from a long time ago. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done with this city or these people. So it's fairly peaceful around here, for the most part. Other than the killings, we don't have much in the way of problems. We do information security for the triads, and that makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone starts something, we hit him in the Matrix, while our triad friends hit him in the meat space. Small-time gangs have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figure out that we're just picking a fight with Tang and his guys, but we're both the Red Dragon and the Yellow Lotus. They get the message real quick. What was left of them anyway? Let me ask you about the gardens. It's your thing. What's your thoughts on the murders? Sharp intake of breath. Pretty gruesome business. Gang died from a broken neck. Looked like someone had wrenched it around and his arms and legs were cut off. Some skin flayed away too. Nakama had his throat ripped out by someone with pretty sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but the teeth marks were all from something with a humanoid jaw. I didn't look at yen teeth. From what I saw at the distance, it was the same story. Didn't see much point since I'd seen it twice already. As for Tong, from what Porter said, it was Gan and Nakamaru all over again. You take a look at him yet? Yeah, it's the same as you described the others. Zippy shakes his head. Damn, I like Tong. The BLT business is unsavoury, but the man had to eat, and his regular sims were great. Generally all-round nice guy. Friendly with everybody, never had anyone mad at him. There ain't no justice, I tell you. What can you tell me about the elders? Well, they're electric bunch, that's for sure. Where to start? NG's a spiritual leader here. She's the voice of the community, I guess. A lot of her close friends are really more followers, since she's something of a priest for the machine spirits. Maybe it's a cultural thing for people who grew up here, but it's never called to me. Still, she makes a damn fine pot of tea. LP's the muscle, and as an encyclopedic knowledge of cyber and bio, definitely a good guy to have watching your back. Not too friendly, but you know how it is. You get a lot of cyber, people start wondering if you'll tear their arms off. So he makes a chopping gesture with one hand. He's got moved straight out of Blood Carnival 3, The Reckoning. Terrible movie, but great fight choreography. Nice, what a Tang. Don't know much about him, but I think he's got some kind of fetish for automation. Found him cooing over some trids of automated delivery drones in a warehouse once. He works with drones, a shop called the Blessed Autofab. He was raving about the efficiency of movement patterns or something. You already know about Tong, ransoms, BLTs, skill chips. Gang used to be a city planner before he got a nervous breakdown and got involved in statistical analysis. Zippy pauses to collect his thoughts. Nakamura came from Futuka and was interested in entertainment, trids mostly. Spent a lot of time analysing subliminals in ads. Then there was Magpie. She was a chief decker. Hot as hell against ice, and built her own hardware. Salty old woman though, never met anyone who was quite as shredded and nasty as she was mad. She was mad most of the time. Nobody mentioned Magpie to me. When did she die? She didn't. Maybe a month ago she just up and disappeared. I went to a shop one day and it just wasn't open. Nobody's seen her since. Kind of a pain in my ass too. She owed me some new analyze software she'd picked up. I never heard of Magpie either. She must be one of the newer wampums. If she was a decker, she would have at least replaced Elder Geo. No surprise there. Geo was older than Quinn... blah blah blah. Oh, the Terracotta Warriors. When I was learning decking from here, he could barely get out of bed. Still fast as hell in the Matrix though. How can you be new and be an elder? Izzy's eyes roll. It's a stupid name. It doesn't actually have much to do with time spent in the community. That was something to do with it, sure. But it was mostly about how skilled you were and how good your connections are and how much you can help everybody else. Should have called them experts or something. Bingo. That's exactly it. She was only here for about 3 years, but she knew a lot of people all over the Matrix, in Shanghai, Beijing, all kinds of places. That plus her skills meant she was a shoo-in when Geo died. Why would she disappear? No idea. One day she was here, the next poof. At first I thought she was on vacation, since she had mentioned wanting to see the Kingdom of Hawaii someday. It didn't feel right. She would at least tell me she was leaving. It seems mighty suspicious to me. Nobody else seems to care what happened to her, probably because she's pissed them off also bad. Is there any place you think I should start looking? A little odd for her to disappear. Of course, it's odd. She owed me lunch too. She was the sort who paid her debts promptly. You might want to check out her shop. It's all locked up, but the other elders have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around, even though Magpie was always butting heads with the other elders. They wouldn't have any reason not to let you in. What do you mean, button heads? Magpie and the others never saw eye to eye. She was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted this neighbourhood to become. Magpie just wanted to deck. She was only an elder because they needed someone with her matrix chops. The last big argument was between her, Nig, LP, and Nakamura. It was over something relatively trivial. I think Nakamura wanted to expand the private trid business into the Matrix, and she just absolutely refused. Kevin, why did she refuse? She said something about not using up valuable bandwidth for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, it went from there into this rant about how she wasn't going to let Tang expand his drone business any further because it would get too much megacorp attention. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which is probably true. Lots of screaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs her matrix skills for their business to run properly. There are other deckers, me, Say, or Mo Jin, but she had the infrastructure. If their project didn't interest her, she wouldn't give them the time of day. She's a real hard head about having her time wasted, but she figures... Sorry? But she figures if she's not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot if you ask me. It sounds like she was critical. Yes and no, she was, but since she disappeared, Elder LP's taken over running the Matrix infrastructure. He's not as good as she was, but his experience with drones makes him the best candidate. They wouldn't entrust something like that to anyone who wasn't an Elder, so there you go. See you later, Zippy. See if Paul can get me into Maggie's shop. Can you tell about Elder Magpie? That she was a bitch, that I've never met anyone as deliberately contrary as her. There's not much to say. Nobody wanted to hang out with Magpie, even though she was the newest elder. She acted high and mighty on everyone. She blocked deals and argued against Nakamura and NG just because she could. Why is she so contrary? Just her nature. She loved fights and gossip. Any chance to cut somebody else down, she'd take it. I guess I always figured she had some deep-seated insecurities and covered it up by attacking other people. See you later. Okay, let's go and ask LP. Oh no, sorry, resplendent voltage spike, if I can have a key. Right, why would we have to? Her departure from the one isn't related to your investigation. It happened before the killings began. I'm certain she's just off skulking somewhere. And no doubt she'll come waltzing back next month, all full of attitude that life dared to go on without asking her permission. If she does, we'll welcome her back. Despite our problems with her behaviour, her skills make her extremely valuable. I've taken over maintenance of our Matrix infrastructure in her absence, but I'm nowhere near her level. The best I can do is ensure nothing breaks down until she returns. I'd like to take a look around the shop. You have a key? Yes, but there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including our community servers. We don't let anyone who's not one of them in there. Why would you need to look around? Magpie's automated systems might have access records for a killer's wireless device. If I can get a dump of the access logs, I might be able to find the killer. Yeah, let's do decking over charisma. I was under the impression the killer was most likely a monster animal of some kind. All the bodies have been marked with bite and claw marks. Are you suggesting they're doing something sentient? I'm not convinced the monster is... Very well, take the key and look around. Just don't break anything or shut off the servers. Well, I'll be going now. Cool. Investigate the jack. Oh, I can talk to you. Who are you? The owner of the shop barely looks from his PDA. Welcome to Matrix Material AK. Show me what you have for sale. Alright. A Doberman marked for assault. Degrade. Meh. That's pretty crap. Oi! Get out of there. That's my cat. Licking my boss. Oh, he's going to be sick. He's had some bloody custard. No, you're going to be ill, you twit. Alright. Oh, it's that shop. I thought it was going to be the shop with the cool looking big orc in the mage's costume. Damn it. You know, I don't feel safe anymore around here. Can I talk to the cool looking orc with the magic? Hey! Breaker Hiao. An imposing troll sounds and store overflowing with weapons of all sorts. Pistols. Ho there, you look like a man who understands the value of self-defense. Breaker Hiao at your service, and I can promise you. What do you have? Oh look, another shit weapon. Oh, they got shot gloves. Nice. That's quite cool. I like shot gloves. And they suck. I'm looking for information. Yes. Magpie. Sorry, I'm really sleepy. No, I'm just too tired of reading, I reckon. Never met her, thank God. She ran with deckers mostly. Since she dealt in chips and software, I heard she was hard to work with. I think the phrase overheard was that she shrieked like a harpy with a fresh corpse. I don't know. She asked Zippy, though. He's the most. Okay, I'm just going to leave you there be for the moment. I'm not going to bother trying to buy everything from you guys, because your things kind of suck. Let's go into Jack Point. Right. You know what, actually, everybody, I think I'm going to leave it there, because this is an investigation and it's a lot of fucking reading. So, I'm going to leave this episode here. We're on our first run, we're getting some pay data, and it's to do with decking, which my pistol singing decker is all about. But, we'll finish this off next time, so until then, chummers, ciao.